Hello, Renee Flamont here. You guys, here's another one. I'm going to say this really frustrates me, but I think you've caught on by now that many aspects of being involved with somebody who's narcissistic in this disordered way aggravate me. And this is no different. I lose my mind when this happens, and many of you do too. And I'm going to read a quote from one of you. Being told to continually, oh, just let it go, or why do you have to keep bringing that up, or why do you want to keep talking about that, or why do you feel the need to beat a dead horse, or why do you, and you're like, but we really haven't talked about it. We never really get to talk about it, because every time you bring it up, no. So it's like the same thing keeps happening over and over again. The same betrayal, the same infraction, the same kind of thing keeps happening over and over again. The chat is never complete. It never even begins. And then they give you a hard time when you keep trying to talk about it. Yet they don't really ever even talk about it because they dodge, deflect, digress, project, give word salad, take off, hang up. You know what I mean? And yet they wonder why we're still trying to talk about it. And this is not just partner. This could be romantic partner, business partner, family, friend. A narcissist in any form does this. You get called a nag for bringing something up repeatedly. A dog with a bone for bringing something up repeatedly. I was called everything and those things and more, because I would not let anything go without having a full-on chat. That's why I think he eventually stayed gone. I swear, it became like my secret weapon to making him stay gone. Because I did want him to stay gone. And he kept coming around and coming around and coming around, like once a month. I think I told you that. And every single time, I was never not going to bring something up. It was never, so how you been? Yeah, oh, good. No. It was like, so, as I was saying last month, oh, yeah, I didn't bring anything up. They hate that. They don't want to talk. And he'd go, yeah, you want to read old newspapers. That's what he would say. Oh, you want to read? Now let's unpack this bad boy, because that was so infuriating when I would go right back to stuff and he'd say that. You want to read old newspapers? I'm like, read old newspapers? We never discussed it. First of all, as we're unpacking, let's give it one big, huge ugh, because you feel your blood boil. Because they're acting like they had the talk already about what they did wrong, but they never actually did any talking. They'll say you guys did the talking. They'll act aggravated like you're bringing it up again, when really you're still trying to get some kind of chat even going to try to begin to make sense of maybe just one thing out of the 10 things wrong that surround one story of theirs. Am I right? You just want a little information. You just say, like, you could say something as simple as, and not even mean. Oh, yeah? You having a good time? Oh, who was there? Oh, please, what? You don't trust me? You gotta ask me who was there. I never ask you who's there. I don't do that to you. You gotta do that to, I thought we'd come a long way. I told you I'm trying, blah, blah, blah. And all you said was who was there. And it may have been even an innocent question on your part. If a friend of mine came over and was talking about a party or a gathering, I'd be like, oh, so who was there? It's an innocent question. But you can't ask that to a narcissist, because they did something wrong. If they went somewhere and you weren't there, they flirted, they overtalked, they did something wrong. Even if they didn't seal a deal or whatever, they did something wrong. They did. And I'm sorry to say, I find that to be one of the most, I'm not sorry to say, but I'm sorry because if you're going through it. Because I identify with you if you are beyond pulling your hair out. And don't forget the ever faithful trick where they try to start talking about what you did to divert your attention away from what they did. So they're telling you to let it go. They still haven't talked about it. And as a way to avoid talking about it, they never want to get to what they did. They want to talk about what you did, how you reacted to them. It happened to me many, 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 many thousands of times with the peripheral narcissist I have in my life. I told you about that, not the partner, but the peripheral 1,000 times. And I told you I wrote an article once called Incident Zero about this very thing. Incident zero would be exactly what it sounds like, the first thing that happened. Okay? So the narcissist does this, you react. The narcissist gets even worse, and then you react. Okay, so things get piled up. The narcissist wants to talk about incident 7, 16, 27, 35, all of your reactions, all of your things that maybe you did that were out of line. Well, you threw the ashtray across the room, or you yelled at me, or you flipped out, and I can't believe. They'll never, ever discuss incident zero. It's like it didn't happen. They forgot. You forgot. Oh, no. So it got to the point with me, with the peripheral narcissist, that I would not discuss anything ever again unless incident zero was discussed. Well, eventually, what do you think that meant? That person's no longer in my life. They're no longer in it. I'm sorry. Incident zero never gets covered, and you just want to yell at me for the way that I reacted to you doing incident 0 and 3 and 7 and 12 and whatever. No. And it is infuriating because they act like they already talked about it, or they come back not ever talking about it, pretending like nothing ever happened and nothing is wrong. And you're left like, but I want resolution. You don't want to just ignore what they did and never discuss it. What, bury it under the carpet? That's another method they use. Right? Let me read to you what one of our readers said. Viewers. Video 469. That frustration of knowing the truth yet hearing the lie. That's what the video is called. Lajorsky flying away. Hey, Lajorsky flying away. Very much a loyal viewer. Been with us a while. I find this really sums up what many of us feel a lot of times. Broke up several times to explore his options. Don't hear from him suddenly for several days. Ask the question, are you seeing someone else again? He yells, why are you always accusing me of seeing other women? I'm tired of you always accusing me. And she, well, gee, I don't know. Flabbergasted. It leaves Lajorsky flying away. Flabbergasted. As all of us. He's the one that took off. He's missing for days. Very natural question. Are you seeing someone else again? Were you in a ditch? This is 2022. There's no reason anyone ever could not contact you. I don't care what they say. My phone was dead. It needed to be charged. There's always a phone afoot. There's always a way to call someone. If you know their number, and if it's your partner, you know their number. Or someone that's in your family or a close friend, you know their phone number. Don't try to say that you don't. So you could always call them from another phone. If your phone is dead, oh, my phone was on vibrate, my phone was on, it couldn't charge. Please, with the excuses. And this person is saying it right here. So you've been gone for days, suddenly, with no warning. And all she said was, So are you seeing somebody else? Very valid question, right? And he flips out and yells, why are you always accusing me? Oh, I wonder why. But they never get to the conversation. So are you seeing someone? Because you answered me with a question. You yelled and answered me with a question. Why can't you trust? You were gone for 3 days. This is something that happens to all of us. And the level that boils in our brain is, again, something that you could never describe to somebody else. A person that doesn't get ensnared by a narcissist, for whatever reason, they're not vulnerable, they're stronger, they know better, whatever the reason. They didn't have to learn the lesson, they already knew it, or they already learned, whatever. A person that doesn't get ensnared would look at this and say, I don't even understand why you want to talk to him. He took off for a few days, bye-bye, right? That's another way we can handle it. We can take the control back of it. If they don't want to talk about it and we know something's up and we're not getting any answers, we can, in fact, use that as the incident that propels you forward out of the relationship and lets you choose, this is enough. That's what I did eventually with the partner in my life, with the peripheral person in my life, and there were a couple of other peripheral people in my life that I had to discard. It was very unhealthy for someone to bestow unhealthy behavior upon you, never let you discuss it, make you think you already did discuss it, make you think, oh, I'm so mad at you that you want to talk about it. We already did. You're reading old newspapers. Can't you just move on? I told you I was sorry. I told you what happened. No, you didn't. And no, you didn't. And then telling you that, please with the I'm sorry. You understand that anyone can say I'm sorry. Anyone can muster those words. That is a myth. When you hear, oh, a narcissist would never say I'm sorry. Yes, they will. They'll say anything they have to win their case, win you over, make you believe their lie. They'll say anything. So that's the part that is not true. They will say anything. They can't feel sorry, but they'll say anything. Just like they'll say, I love you till the end of time, and you're my perfect soulmate, and I'm going to marry you, and I'm so sorry. They can muster that up. So if you do have one that does come out with the I'm sorry, don't let it make you think that they are. And don't let it make them put a cap on the conversation. Now, if the conversation is something that is going to get ugly, and your narcissist can get really mean, especially if you're in physical danger, I'm not advising you to pick at them and pick at them and pick at them and pick at them until they fold and talk to you. That's what I did. For weeks, I would not let it go. I was like, you know what I mean? I knew it was over, but I was like, I'm getting answers. I never got answers. I never got anything satisfying. Nothing ever brought me any kind of peace or joy or any kind of, oh, all right, that makes sense. No. The more you talk, the less you get. The more you talk to them, the more frustrated you'll get. The more they try to sit there and talk with you, the sadder you'll get. Talking to them is an exercise in futility like you've never known in your life. They won't bring you anything. And they'll just make you think like, we've already been here. Why are we talking about, oh, you're going to bring up that again? Again? How about we talk about it one time? How about one time we talk about incident 0? Look how mad I get. I'm telling you what, it's beyond me that they think that we're going to fall for it. I'm like, do you actually think that I don't know that we haven't really discussed incident 0? Well, you did it. That was incident 12. I'm not talking about 12 until we 1 through 11. We're going to go in order. That's what I finally told 2 narcissists in my life, the peripheral one and the partner. I said, I'm not discussing anything with you that I did, said, felt, showed you in my behavior until we get through your stuff first. How's that? Okay? Oh, but you, nope, blah, 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 nope. Incident 0, please. Incident 3, please. Incident 8, please. And I want to discuss things to completion. I want to know what the deal is. They'll never. You guys, stop banging your head against the wall because this is they do this on purpose. And the next 2 videos I have outlined also connect to this topic, and you'll see that. But I am telling you something. Save the frustration that you feel and do what I just say, you know what? I'm not even discussing it. Until we discuss your issue, I don't want to talk about anything. Try it. I mean, some of you are stuck in the relationship, and I try to bring you things that might at least let your simmer down so that you're not always like this. I was like this the whole time I was with the narcissist, and the whole time I'm ever around that other narcissist. I'm a wreck. I'm like this. They make me nuts. And this was the way that I chose to calm down. I said, no, I'm not having any conversations with you unless we discuss what's on my mind. I have stuff, and I have still never gotten to, there are 7, 8, 10-year-old things, 12, 14-year-old things with the peripheral narcissist, which is what I'm calling that person, that have never been discussed. Because they come along and they try to create drama and they try to talk about the drama the way that I reacted or something. Well, of course I'm going to get angry when something's done to me. You want to talk about my reaction? Sure. But let's talk about what you did. So I just wanted to bring this up because it is something we all feel. Chin up. Don't allow it to frustrate you. And you know what? To sit there were many, many nights that I sat there for 3 hours trying to talk to my narcissist partner, and it was late and they were drunk. Can't talk to drunk. Keep that sentence in your head. Can't talk to drunk. And why am I spending 3 hours going in a circle around and around and around and around and around to get nowhere, have nothing said, and me repeat myself a bunch of times? Because you're waiting for something. You're waiting for them to give you anything. I'm here to save you the time. Go out to eat with your friends instead for those 3 hours, because you're not going to get anywhere. It's a real, real, real big part of their disorder. They don't want to talk about anything because they prefer you to be in the dark. They prefer you not to have any information. Please go ahead and hit sub, like, and share. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.